We're live.
Okay. Call this meeting to order. Jackie, if you would please call the roll.
Representative Alaman. Representative Angelos. Representative Haroldson.
Here.
Representative Pendergraft.
Here.
Representative Sherwood. Here. Representative Smith.
Here.
Chairman Bear.
Here.
Mr. Vice Chair, you have a quorum.
Thank you very much. For that, today we are looking at one bill, House Bill 129, the Expanding Physicians Access Act. Obviously, this bill has already seen committee. It's coming to us for an appropriation. And with that, I turn it over to the good Representative Washburger to tell us a little bit about his bill and his appropriation.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So the Expanding Physician Access Act, it's a bill that I've worked with our a member from our Board of Medicine and also a gentleman that does some lobbying for some of the hospitals here in town. So this bill is very similar to a bill that was ran last year, just with a little bit more guardrails and a few more details than what the last one had. There's a background checking process for some of these new physicians coming in that'd be coming internationally. And to give you the explanation on that giant appropriation there that you see, it's that would be the fees collected from the revenue from the licensing of these new international physicians. So this bill's been introduced in a few other states. It doesn't get used significantly, so I mean, it wouldn't be the silver bullet to a solution for the shortage of physicians, but I do think it would be, I think the potential for it would be, could be possibly more beneficial to our state than maybe a much bigger state. With that being said, if we were able to add 5 physicians to our state, I think that'd be a much bigger difference than maybe a state like New York. But so those are that's pretty much the summary of the bill, and I greatly appreciate your favorable consideration.
Thank you very much, Representative Washburger, for that explanation. Is there any questions from the committee? Representative Pendergraft.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Could you elaborate a little bit on the 40,000 contractual services? What's included in that? What are we looking at?
That was a fiscal, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much.
Representative Pendergraft. That was a appropriation and recommendation by the board member on medicine, Kevin Kevin from the medicine board. Anyways, that was his recommendation for it. If to be able to evaluate these physicians for the processing of being able to license them, along with the process of going through their training programs that they would have for these new physicians and the screening.
Thank you, Representative. Any other questions or a follow-up? One more follow-up, Representative Pendergraft.
Thank you. It looks to be a one-time thing, so I'm trying to sort it out in my mind. It's still a little fuzzy.
Representative Washburger.
Thank you, Chairman. Yeah, Representative Pendergraft. That was with the conversation I had with the Board of Medicine, the gentleman from the Board of Medicine, it would just be a one-time thing. The way that they're appropriated now, to my understanding with the conversation I had with him, is that they have the funding in place necessary for it. This would just be the one additional footnote that they would need to be able to get it started.
Thank you. And just to clarify, if you go to the very back page, you'll see it says initial building of licensing and renewal components in the board's existing database, along with online application and renewal functions, the cost of which would be $40,000 one time, and then the license database annual subscription fee being $3,500. So it's a clarifier on that. Anyone else? Chairman Bear.
Here, Representative Wasserberger. Do you, what countries do you think would be a good fit for doctors coming to Wyoming? I'm envisioning Nepal.
Representative Wasserberger.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Representative Bear, that's a great question. We did have a list of countries last year, in the bill. And that's actually a very similar model to what Arizona used. The argument the reason why we don't have that in there this year was just from the conversations that was had between the committee, was that they thought that the foresight on that list of countries was just a little bit too small, that they felt that there would be other countries that'd be appropriate. I personally don't have a problem with the list of countries that would be similar to the model that Arizona used. I couldn't tell you every single country off the top of my head without looking at Arizona's model. I know London was one of them, was one of the big ones, along with Australia. And there was, I believe, 5 other countries where they had that modeling for Arizona. So if we decided to go that route, I have no issue with that. From what I've been able to see with Arizona, that seems to work just fine. I just know there were some folks on the board that thought it was okay to work with some other partnering countries.
Follow up?
Sure, I just, point of clarity, we're not gonna mess with your bill. That was your previous committee that would do that. We're just looking at your finances, which he asked about. I was just being a little smart aleck there. Sorry, it was lost. That's right. Thank you.
Anyone else? Any other questions? No other questions? I have one. So looking at it, we have 2 fiscal notes. One is a $400 increase in fiscal year 27, a $955 in fiscal year 28, and a $1,110 appropriation in fiscal year 29. These are actual revenues. So these are increases from fees, from what I can tell. And then my question would be, those revenues would go to help pay that $4,400 per year. Is that what you understood as you talked about this? That would be the same special revenues for this agency. Is that correct?
Mr. Chairman, that was my understanding of the special revenue, correct?
Perfect. Any other questions? Any other questions? Okay. Any public testimony? It's your last chance. Anyone online?
No, Mr. Vice Chair.
Wow. Okay. Well, with that being said, I'm going to take and close public testimony and ask the committee, what is your pleasure? So we have a move to pass by Angelos and a second by Smith. Okay. Any other discussion? Comments? Jackie, if you could please call the roll.
Roll call vote, House Bill 129 do pass. Representative Allemand.
Aye.
Representative Angelos. Chairman Bear.
Aye.
Representative Pendergraft.
Aye.
Representative Sherwood.
Aye.
Representative Smith.
Aye.
Vice Chairman Haroldson.
Aye.
Mr. Vice Chair, 7 aye.
Thank you very much. And Representative, thank you for being here today and giving us that rundown on your bill, and best of luck on the floor. And with that, seeing nothing else on the agenda, Chairman Bear.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Before we adjourn, I'd like everybody to open up your calendars. If I can get to one.
Mr. Chairman, you are still online. Do you want off?
Yeah, we can go ahead and switch off the line if that's all right with the
Okay,
chairman.
with that, we do adjourn.
Thank you.
Okay, we need to pick a day to set our meeting for interim topics between the 2nd and the 5th of March.